Okay. Hi, welcome back to my channel. I am Lysandra Yvette, the owner and founder of Loving Touch Healing and Wellness, which operates out of Claremont, California. I'm a clairvoyant, claircognizant empath, and I practice spiritual intuitive healing. But today we're talking to LaDonna Simmons. LaDonna is the CEO and founder of Quantum Transformation Healing, as well as the owner at the Infinite Federation. She also is an energy healer, an Usui and Karuna Reiki master, a shaman, an empath, and a tarot and oracle reader. Welcome, LaDonna. Why don't you
Thank
start
you.
by introducing yourself?
That was a very good introduction. Well, thank you for having me, Lysandra. I appreciate your time and your willingness to have me here. I am the owner and CEO of Quantum Healing, also Infinite Federation. I have, as you stated, you did your very good work, your background work. Usui and Karuna Reiki masters, tarot reader, shaman. I also have done a lot of energy work, massage, a lot of things that I was trying to go back and think about as knowing I was going to have this interview. But there were just many things that I've done over my years. I've trained in Atlanta and in England, specifically at Stonehenge. And those were some wonderful experiences in my life.
Absolutely amazing. And we can talk a little bit in depth about that later on in the interview, because
Okay.
I think that's something that is worth sharing. Not many people will be able to make that pilgrimage. And I'm just pleased and honored that we can, tap your energy and share some information when it comes to that. So how do you define wellness, LaDonna?
Wellness to me is the ability for women or anyone to be able to be well in mind, in body, and in spirit, or in soul, or be well, have a well loving thought about what you're doing in general. Because I mean, as people, as energy workers and people who, we do a lot, Black people, all people, Black women, we have to carry numerous loads in our lives. We have to work, take care of the children. Some of us even going to school. Some of us are doing 2 and 3 and 4 things and wanting to make a big difference in our life. We have to be well in our thought processes, because it starts here in your mind by what you're thinking and your intentions and what do you want to put out in the world, and then make it manifest by doing well, thoughtful, caring, loving things. That's what wellness is to me. Putting all the love and caring and compassion into everything you're doing, putting it out there with positive, divine, loving intentions, being well in your thoughts, because you want to be able to manifest and create what you want to be well about. And so you have to have good thoughts about that. So that this is a strategic way of being kind to yourself, taking care of yourself, recognizing that you need to be well, to rest. There are things that you need to do for yourself before you can help anybody else. That's wellness.
Oh, what beautiful sage you're sharing right now. So tell me then, or tell us, how do you incorporate wellness daily? What does your routine look like?
Well, it has changed. Younger, I was sharing these thoughts with other people. When we were younger, we think we know so much. My grandfather used to say, when you're younger, the body is willing, but the mind may not be, because you have so much energy, but your thoughts are on other things. So I've had to really focus and re-strategize certain things in my life. What do I need to do with wellness, and how do I become well? So now what I do is focus again on what it is I want to do, what it is I want to bring forth, not only to myself, but my family and friends, but to humanity, back to the universe, to the creator, to source, knowing that we are all in this thing together. And once we recognize that, and once I recognize that, then in order for me I sit back, I meditate. I'm in several healing groups, several healing classes, bring forth people to heal the globe, the situation around the world with this all strifes and isms that are going against each other. And so that's a big thing in delving and going within and meditating and asking my higher self, my angels, my ancestors, the divine one, what is it that I can do to help assist with that? And that is just, again, by being kind and loving and recognizing that we are all one. And that includes all the trees and everything else. I don't know if you want to call me a hippie or what, but I love trees. I hug trees. I kiss trees. So if trees could talk, they would sell us a lot of things over the millennium since we've been here. But I go within myself. And sometimes that takes a lot because life in general sets in. And life, you have to, life, you have to do a lot of things. Life is just life. So you have to make time, even if it's 5 minutes a day, to get centered, being centered.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So why do you think it's important for women to care about their own individual wellness? And this is really kind of the crust of what we're going to talk about moving forward, not just in this interview, but many others, because I think that some of us may think we have a really good idea of it. And, you know, it's kind of funny when I think about when I was younger, if someone asked me this, it would just talk about, you know, surface things like, you know, my diet, my exercise, my makeup, my hair, you know.
That's important, Cassandra. That's important. That's important
It's not
too.
that it's not, you're right. It's not that it's not important, but there's so much more to being well. And that's what I want to be able to share. So can you tell me what you think it would look like as far as what's important for women when they're caring about their own individual, you know, wellness?
Are you happy with yourself? Are you happy with what you're doing in life? Are you, happiness doesn't necessarily have to revolve around all those things that you listed before, but they are important. But if you have a partner in your life, are you satisfied with that partner? Does that partner complement you? Do you complement each other? I hear a lot of people say, oh, it's 50-50 relationship. No, it's 100 and 100. Each person is giving 100. There should be you should complement each other. You should complement, your life should be complemented by what you're doing in your life. Your surroundings in your home should complement who you are and what you are. We have to find out as women who we are. What is it? We are more than just the hair, the makeup, the looking good, the having of the babies. We are more than that. As you see, I'll know a little bit about what your background, because I've read it. You're an entrepreneur. You're a wife. You're a mother. You've done so many things. That didn't stop you. You just had, and time management is a big factor in this thing too. I mean, with how can we do all these things and then still focus on wellness for us? Because sometimes we say, oh, you know, I'm just tired, but I'll work through it. Why do we have to work through it? Why can't we just say, okay, I need to rest myself. I need to give back some time to me. Oh, honey, can you do this for me? I have to, you know, have some time, some me time. If that includes meditation, if that includes walking, if that includes whatever it is that you need to do, physical exercise, whatever it is you need to do to bring back the wellness. Because if you're not well, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, lovingly, compassionately, divinely, with who you are, what you have to do, you can't give that to anybody else. You can't provide. How can you provide it? How can you even talk about it, discuss it, if you don't have a sense of that wellness, a sense of that wholeness, a sense of that within yourself? You have to be able to understand what it is, to articulate it if someone asks, you know, if they want to know about it. You have to have those things.
I like that. And I think that we can, you know, expand a little bit on something really important that you said. And that is time management, because women of color tend to place ourselves last.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of the message, the overall message I want to be able to reach out to, women of color, particularly the younger generation who are
Mm-hmm.
coming up and still, laying the tracks, is it's important to make yourself a priority.
Yes, it is.
We're not necessarily taught that for a lot of reasons, but it is kind of like you said, if you're not at your best, how can you be the best for anyone else?
Mm-hmm.
So we need to get out of the mindset that it's actually selfish, because sometimes when I'm talking with my clients, they feel really selfish when they begin to talk about themselves and they say, there's just no time left for me. And that's what that's the biggest message I would like to get out there to women in general. You come first.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let anybody guilt you into thinking otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
because without making sure you're whole, you're only giving pieces of yourself. And then at the end of the day, there's very little left of yourself, right?
That's correct. But that's how we were taught. That's how we were trained. That's how I was taught. That's how I was trained, go to school, get out, go to school, get a job, maybe get married, whatever. But during this whole equation, that whole scenario, that time process, there was nothing included in there about me personally, about what it is I wanted to do, what it is maybe and then having these internal struggles or battles, whichever word you want to use, it's like you're going against everything that you were taught. And then you're a bad daughter because you're doing that. And it's just, I had to really sit down and have a LaDonna talk with LaDonna to say, no, that's not true. You've had to go, you did everything that your parents told you, and it was this outlined strategic structure that they felt that you should go through in order to get through this life. But there's a big gap here that was missing with things that you wanted, that you desired to do, that would fulfill you as mentally, spiritually, physically, divinely, compassionately, lovingly. These things that you and I do, we love those things. So it's not a job. We love it. So when you love something, Lysandra, you're just going to work at it like it's not a job, like it's a privilege. And it's an honor. And then when you're stress-free and you don't have to worry about anything, your energy is going to be heightened. It's going to be heightened. And you put everything into it.
Yeah, you're speaking from the heart, and that's what I want. You said so. You said so much.
Going like this.
Yeah, you said so much, and I hope that the listeners take their time and listen to it more than once. Oftentimes, I find myself doing that when something resonates with me. I'll go back and look at the video again, and just to let it minister to me. So thank you for that. So, okay,
you're welcome.
What do you think was the most difficult part of your spiritual journey so far?
Structure again. One of the things was when you're younger, again, as my grandfather would say, the body is willing, but I had the energy. So I started this journey young at 18 and 19 years old. And in Cleveland at the time, there was Dr. Michael Boyce, who was my first love and trainer. I mean, not love as far as lover, but he was the person that started me on this journey. And then Laura Edwards, she used to be on WJMO in Cleveland, Ohio, doing tarot readings. And then moving to Atlanta, just other people, Reggie Johnson, Noah Kenyatta. These people started me and helped me, but then it was structure. I loved the concept of it, but I wasn't into it mentally. I wasn't into it. And it was like a phase to say, oh, I know how to do this, or I can do this. But it wasn't, and the first mentor told me one of the things that Michael Boyce, he's long transition, said, LaDonna, when you get older, you're going to be working with your hands. And I mean, he was just come all off the blue with this. Oh, what are you talking about? I'm gonna be a masseuse now. No, you're going to be doing more than that. But I had to be focused, and I had to be strategic, and I had to be structured, and I had to put time in it, because I recognize the old spiritual saying, God will help those who help themselves. So I had to go here and help myself. I discovered that what I wanted to do, I probably would be the only person in my family in Cleveland on this side where I am who will be doing this, that I may be the only Black person doing this. That didn't bother me, but I just stepped forth and did it. So it was structure. Is being in it, being willing to put forth the time, and understanding that this needed to be done, and understanding that time is really a lie. I mean, I'm not trying. It's just, you don't have time to BS. You got to do what you're supposed to, what you were put on this planet to do. We were put on here more than just to get up and go to work every day from 9 to 5 and make a $50,000 salary a year. That's more than to life, So I had to really put forth the effort, the time, the energy, and understanding that for me, it was a different way of learning. I'm not the typical learner. I read, I love to read. I got lost in reading, but I like hands-on things too. So, and then just doing it and applying it and doing it and loving it. All those things, all of those things.
Very well said. Okay, so then let me ask you this. What new and different things have you incorporated in your management system? And let's say, what did you learn from it? I'm finding for many people, 2020, what used to work may not necessarily work in 2020, or maybe, as one person said, it just amplified it or affirmed it. What do you find that you've had to do different?
Everything that you just said is correct, but I'm in agreement with whomever the person said that it amplified things, because I recognized about this time thing, whatever you wanted to change or manifest or do with yourself and others as far as helping and being a part of the healing process of everything on this planet and throughout the globe. 2020 amplified this thing. It made me understand that even though I do these things with my businesses and other things, I had to put more out there, asking people to become more involved if they were willing to. And I found out that many people were willing to come and be a part of this thing. But I've been used to maybe doing things alone. The thing with me was asking people to come join me. Maybe being fearful of them saying no. And even if they did, so what? Maybe they had other things to do. They just couldn't do it. But so what if they did? That didn't mean that I couldn't do it. So the thing was understanding that even though I didn't, may have not have gotten the help that maybe I would have liked to have gotten. Sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't. But still, you can do it, LaDonna. It doesn't matter who's with you physically, because the force is with you always. The creator is always with you. So you're putting out your intention, and the creator's going to be there and show up and show out and knock it out the park. So
you better say that. You better say that. That's right. That's right. And I like what you said about first having the ability or the comfort zone of doing things by yourself.
Exactly.
The majority of people, it's the other way around,
right? Exactly.
Usually they have to have, other people around them to be empowered. Mm-hmm. So really, honestly, the way you described it, it is kind of like a gift in some sense, that you have enough way with her about yourself and confidence about yourself that you can be out there by yourself, standing firm in what you know is truth and connected and being able to move forward with your gifts. So I look at it as like a gift, but I do understand that what you're saying overall is the difference was now for you bringing in other people. So it was the opposite.
It was the
So
opposite.
this is great for people to realize that, you know, you might look at other people and say, wow, I wish I could be, you know, as strong and independent as a person is like that, but know that that person also has a struggle, just as you mentioned, of bringing in other people too. So
E-
it's still finding that
Exactly.
balance.
Exactly. And the empowerment is one thing, the understanding is another thing. But when you know that you got this, and that who's with you, behind you, above you, beside you, the energy of the all encompassing one, you got this when you have God in the equation. So
Hmm.
it doesn't
Okay,
matter if I'm alone, I'm alone. If people are
that's
there, fine. Yeah.
I like that. Okay, so what are some of the things that you do to inspire yourself or to inspire others?
One of the things I like to do is what you and I are doing now, have discussions, have talking, inviting people to read books that I've read over the years. I just moved, and as I was starting to open up these box of books, I said, "Oh my God, I forgot I had this. Oh my God, I forgot I had the Urantia book. Oh my God." So sharing information with people. And the one thing is for me is if they ask, because I'm not going to go out here and bully people, hit somebody upside the head about anything. If you ask me, I will share the information. You can take it, throw it away, throw it up in the air, do whatever you want to do with it. But I share the information. My life is an open book. To me, there's nothing in my life that I cannot share it or that I will not share if it will help someone. And that can be good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. But what is good, what is bad, what is ugly, and what is indifferent? If it helps the person, then that is what it was meant to do. And so whatever they got out of those four options that I just gave you, if it helped them, that's all that matters. So talking, coaching, being a friend, staying away if needed, but they have to ask, because I'm not going to force. No forcing current here. No forcing. If
And
you
I think
ask, if you want the
as
information, I'll let you know.
I think as light workers, we can agree that that is what our job is to anchor in and hold the energy
Mm-hmm,
and make it
mm-hmm.
readily available, but not to cast it where it's not wanted, because each individual has been gifted free will and it's up to
Yes,
them what they
yes.
choose to do with it. So very good. Very good. Okay. So have you ever struggled with anxiety or depression before?
Oh yeah, many times, many times. The last few years when my parents were sick, and I lost my dad this past March, but thank God I still have my mom. In relationships that you want to go a specific way and they don't. Um, Struggling to, like I said before, wondering if you're good enough, if what have you done wrong to make things happen this way. But in understanding that later on in life, and as I matured and evolved as a person, that these things had to happen this way for me to grow, whatever the anxieties were. Why trying to figure out why when I would go to England or I would go to these places to take courses or classes or whatever, why I would be the only Black woman there. What is that about? Um, Thinking that maybe I was odd.
Okay. Hold on
It's,
for 1 second.
mhm.
Hold on. Um, all right. I'm hoping I fixed it. All
Okay.
right. Can you hear me fine?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
It's nothing on your end. It's some, you know, technology is always messing up the flow or trying to, but I refuse to be deterred from the beautiful message that you're sharing. So please continue. Please continue.
Just thinking because of what I was believing in or what I knew in my soul to be true for me, that I was the odd
Mhm.
woman out, that I was crazy. And that, why am I really the only one? But then as I look around and talk to fellow members of my family, I found out that I wasn't the only one that had these thoughts, that thought like this, that would hug trees or look out and see things maybe that other people didn't see. And that was a frustration at first. But again, when you are true to who you are, and when you know what you see is real and true, because you studied, you've read, you've taken the time to go within, it really doesn't matter what people think or say. And that's one of the things that I had to get through. It doesn't matter. Because if they're going to talk about Jesus Christ and Buddha and Krishna and everybody else, who is little lowly me? And I don't think of myself as lowly. But I was just saying, if they're going to talk about them, and they knew so much more than what I know. But what they knew, I know to be true. You get frustrated, but I just don't care anymore about that. I mean, I can't let that deter me or let it frustrate me. I can't. I refuse to.
And that's an inspiration for many people. And I'm sure you're understanding right now there's an awakening occurring, which means
Yes.
that you are going to find that you are amongst so many who think and feel like you. The
Yeah.
difference is it's new to them.
Yeah.
And everything is like a candy store, you know. I told somebody it's like somebody opened the corral and just let, you know, the wild broncos out in some sense when it comes to spirituality. So the
Yes, it's
beautiful
true.
part is for those of us who have started early, who were somewhat alienated with this, you know, this gift comes with a price. You
Yes.
know, no matter at which level you jump in on, it comes with a price.
Yes.
And I now, through my experience, understand that is what gives you the deep, deep roots that anchor you in. It's trying and testing of a thing so that when it sways in the wind, the branches don't snap. Okay.
That's
You
true.
don't get, another thing is you don't get, as they say, the wine without the pressing of the grape.
Oh,
So
wow.
even though
Wow.
you had that experience in and of itself, and I can totally relate, because very early on, I say this commonly, at the age of 5, honestly, I knew that I was different. And so when you start navigating through life and you have these different gifts, if you're not, anchored in with a spiritual mentor, you will feel different. You will stand out, and particularly with women or people of color. And there's a whole
Yes.
another topic we can have about that, as to the programming and the agenda that went behind disconnecting us from our true powers. But let me just say this. We are here and we're standing stronger than ever. And I'm honored to have you here and recognize you as that sage wisdom that many can benefit from, and be inspired that even though you may be the different one in the family, it's purposeful. Do not lose hope. Stand strong in what you know to be true, because to do anything different, you're not going to be anchored in it. You're not going to feel natural. You're not going to feel like yourself. And that's what gets us to this point at this age, where we say we don't care anymore because we've tried so many other ways to bend and twist to please people and not to stand true to ourselves. So thank you for being transparent and sharing that. Okay, so how do you find healing and balance? When you were going through that, or when you go through depression, let's just say in general, you find yourself in a moment. How do you bring yourself up out of it? And how long do you think it usually lasts for you?
It depends on kind of what it is, but however, most of the time, it's I for whatever reason, I have to be alone. I need to be alone during this time. And during that time that I am alone, it is maybe talking to people who get me, who understand me. But most of it is prayer, meditation, and ritual work. And I usually snap out of it, but that's what I have to do. First be alone Most people don't understand that. This is the time when you need someone, but I have someone, I have me. So I need to be alone. And then I call somebody who understands or would just listen. People don't necessarily have to say anything. Just listen sometime, And then the prayer, the meditation, and then the rituals. And no more than a week, I'm back.
Well, just knowing and looking at your bio, and also, myself being an empath,
Mm-hmm.
you do have to, if you're empathic, the way you reset yourself, and that's what I tell my clients. I use that word so they can really
That's a
get
good
it,
word.
is
That's a
that,
good word.
you really literally need to isolate yourself in order to do that, because we are already like this antenna that's picking up all types of energy from all around. And
Yes,
particularly now that the collective is in a heightened state of
that's
alert
correct.
and has been pretty much for 2020, a
Yeah.
lot of empathic people are experiencing, you know, next level type of energy, meaning
Yes.
it's
Yes.
manifesting a tightening of the joints,
Yes.
sleepless nights,
Yes.
headaches.
Yes.
We're feeling the symptoms literally
Yes.
of
We are.
the collective,
Yes,
and
we
it's a
are.
very serious and very real thing. So for those who are not empathic, they may not understand, but for those who are, and maybe they don't
Yes,
even
I
know
am.
it's a thing,
Mhm.
please know it. It's kind of like what she said. Very good. She touched on it. She needs to be by herself. I myself practice that, a couple of times a year. And it doesn't matter if people understand. It's what I
It's
know I need to
that's the
do.
best
And
thing for you.
so I find for me, going to the places like, the forest or the ocean
Hmm.
or any place
Hmm.
that nature can just help me to realign with the frequency of the universe, then
Hmm.
I'm good. But it takes a minute. I need a couple of days of that to be able to take on such massive energy. So thank you for getting on that topic, which I know, we both share as
Yeah.
in.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. So what are some of your favorite healing modalities? Now, I do know some of them, but I want you to share what you want to share as far as what are your favorite healing modalities?
Reiki, both Usui and Karuna, both. Usui to me that's what I started off, and so I love that healing modality. Karuna, I like it because it's more of the Mother Mary energy, the nurturing type of energy. So it's a soothing type. I love tones. I love tuning forks. I love the bowls, the tuning bowls. I love a ritual. I love saging. People would say that are you burning down the house because there's so much smoke? No, I didn't put that much sage in there for it to be that much smoke. Whatever needed to come out needs to be released. Um, Grounding, again, going in nature, like you said, near a tree, to have my feet planted firmly on the soil and the earth, water, anything that involves or invites the elementals, prayer, meditation, talking to lovely people like yourself who has a heightened awareness of the collective energy and what collectively is happening and what is going on and what it is that we as light workers and a part of this system is a part of this scenario, what we have to do to make it better for the ones that's going to come, that are here now, and that's going to come after us. So there's a lot of things I love to do, but those are my main ones. So and you get me somewhere where I can pick up energy and tingle and see see orbs, and I'm fine, Lysandra. I am fantastic. So that's what it is. That's what it
Okay, okay. All right. So, how do you define your belief system? And I add this part only as a standard part for those who don't. I say if you have one, because
Yeah.
not everybody does, and that's up to them. So, how do you define your belief system?
I define my belief system as spiritual with a capital S. When it's with a capital S, it's more of an evolutionary, universal, global thing where we believe in what we're talking about as now as light workers. When it's a small s, you're believing more you have a belief system, but it's more in the religious aspect of things. And that's fine too, because I'm not knocking that, because that is what I grew up. That is my foundation. Maybe yours too. As a Christian, my parents were Christians. But however I grew up, I evolved saying that I needed something more than just what I was hearing in the church. And I found that out again by going within, by being alone, by studying, by being introduced to people who are similar to yourself, to my mentors and other people who saw more in me than what I saw in me. So they assisted me in my growth. My parents did too, on the aspect of this particular level or playing field. But as I grew and evolved, these other people showed me other concepts and other ideas of who I was and what I could espouse to. So I consider myself spiritual, with bringing and aligning and bringing in all forces of spirituality. That includes Buddhism, that includes Islam, that includes Wicca, that includes Yiddish, that includes everything, because I realize that all of these are synergistic energy for the one. It's just, they may be called different things, but the energy of it is still the same. It's still the same.
I like that. I like that. It's very beautifully said, and something that will minister, I'm sure, to many who don't understand necessarily why we kind of sometimes target a deeper understanding of religion. And like you said, I don't knock it. That was my foundation. I've been through the Bible, at least 3 times, and own, as I've shared before, at least 40 different ones, different translations, because within the word it says, seek and you shall find. And so I feel like when you start really on that individual path of seeking what the message truly is, what you're finding is an individual experience with the infinite creator.
Exactly.
And what that look like is on an individual basis as well.
Exactly.
But getting there is a whole nother process, because it's shedding programs and systems and paradigms and fears and anxieties and upbringings and traditions. I mean, I can go on. There's a lot. There is a lot that goes into the human experience. But on an individual personal basis, if you choose to seek and know, he will not deprive you. He, she, it doesn't matter what you enunciate. I love that the word says, and I speak this specifically to those who may be listening who understand scripture, that he described himself as the I am. Yes. And with that being said, nothing else followed. That was a complete sentence.
Exactly.
So when you say I am, that's every aspect around the world, as you described. You can't say one is greater than the other. They're all one, because guess what? We're all one. Exactly. And the way that Spirit has explained it to me, when you see anything that is him, because he expressed himself. So that includes
as him.
Every individual. Exactly. We are all connected. We are all one. So thank you for sharing that. Okay, so LaDonna, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, where I'm desiring to be is to share this information, this wisdom, this knowledge, but wisdom globally to all who are interested in learning it. And that's via a book, via a wellness center, which is one of my utmost desires, is to have a wellness center in the States and globally, in the UK, over in Europe somewhere, in that region, but primarily where it's warmer, but I happen to like the UK. But just to spread the love and the light of the universal language of love. That's where I see myself in 5 years. Now, I don't want to be like the priests or whomever, and they had their mission that they had to do in life. They had to go, and they went to other lands and preached the Christian religion. Okay, that's what they needed to do. That's not what I just want to, everyone has to find their niche in life. My niche or niche, however you want to put it in life, is to teach, to love, and to heal. And that is a part of what the universe has shared with me, and that's with herbs, that HERBS, that's with words, that's with tonality, that's with love, that's with creation. Sometimes it can be with indifference. I mean, knowing that maybe sometimes you have to go through an indifferent period to change, to allow changes to come within yourself, but primarily through divine love and light, utilizing what my gifts and talents, which were ordained to me as a child when I entered into this planet, and to share for all those who want, for healers, light workers, and people, everyone, everywhere, and all sentient beings, everyone, everywhere.
Beautiful. Okay, so what lasting piece of advice would you give to the younger women of color? And I emphasize that because really, honestly, they're maybe in the midst of their journey or kind of beginning their journey. And this is kind of more so for them because they don't really necessarily grasp the magnitude of the
Yeah,
changes that they can make over their lives right now. And I think what's missing is that
and
grandmotherly sage type of advice that we used to get. And that's my goal, is to try to bring a little bit more of that back to the table. So we're nearing the end of our interview. What piece of advice would you give to young women of color?
one of the things, there are several things, but one of the main things, once you have a sense of kind of who you are, and that may involve seeking, reading, looking, you have to seek. Ask about your family tree. Ask if there's someone in your family, a sage, both male and female, who were similar to you. Seek, and then you will find the answers. And then it's just like when, as a good book says, if knock and the door will be opened. Seek and ye shall find. Love yourself no matter who you are, what you look like. Love yourself for who you are. Don't let anybody put any labels upon thee. No, no labels, none of that. And once you start doing that and then loving yourself first and primarily, always love who you are as a child of the Most High. It's going to be a fantastic young woman, whatever it is that they decide to do in life. Seek your purpose, understand your purpose, glorify in your purpose. No labels, no judgments. That is what I would say. You will go far.
Wow, that's so beautiful, and it's so impactful. Okay, so is there anything else you'd like for people to know about you that we haven't covered so far? I will plug you and tag you, and also put your information below in the comments. But this is your moment to shine. Let us know about you. Anything you want to share and take us out with?
First of all, thank you for inviting me to do this. I really appreciate your efforts and allowing me to share who I am. I would like for you to know that I am here. I am a woman of color. I'm a good person. I'm a good soul. What I do, what I bring to the table will be a benefit to all, and including myself. Because if I'm praying for you, if I'm meditating with you, if I'm giving tarot card readings for you, if I'm sending you healing energy, whatever it is I'm doing, it is with divine love and light. And not only will it impact and benefit you, it will impact and benefit myself, and will impact and benefit others. I live in Cleveland, Ohio. Lysandra will tag my information if you want to call me with my email address at reikiladonna@gmail.com. Feel free to do so. And I look forward to seeing and speaking with you. And thank you, everyone, for this time. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, that's so beautiful. And okay, thank you all who took the time to listen. I encourage you to listen again. There are so many impactful things that LaDonna has shared today. And I want to say the biggest thing for me that I take away from this, that I'm hearing her say, is know who you are, love who you are. And at the end, she said the most important thing: no labels, no judgment, because, you know, there are people who spend hours, countless hours of counseling and therapy trying to remove the labels.
Yes.
So big ups for that. And ladies, subscribe to my channel. We look forward to being there for you individually or collectively. And as I say, until the next time, namaste.
Namaste, Lysandra. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.